You're exhausted, not just tired, deeply soul-level exhausted. You have given everything you have to your family, and somehow, at the end of the day, it still feels like it is not enough. The dinner goes cold while you chase a meltdown. The bedtime routine turns into a negotiation that would make a lawyer sweat. And somewhere in the middle of all of that chaos, you catch yourself wondering, when did this get so hard? I need you to hear something right now. You are not failing. You are not broken. And you are definitely not alone. What you are experiencing is something millions of parents go through every single day. This invisible weight of trying to hold it all together while the connection you desperately want with your child keeps slipping through your fingers like sand. Here is what nobody tells you. It is not the big moments that build a strong family bond. It is not the birthday parties, the vacations, or the expensive gifts. Research in child development consistently shows that it is the small, repeated, intentional moments that wire your child's brain for security, trust, and deep connection. And when you know exactly what those moments are, everything changes. And here is something I want you to sit with right now. There are parents who have already discovered these exact principles, and they are describing their homes as completely transformed. Not perfect. Transformed. There are families who went from daily screaming matches to actual conversations at the dinner table, from children who shut down emotionally to kids who voluntarily come to their parents with their problems. If that sounds like what you want, stay with me, because that is exactly where this video is going. And if you want to go even deeper than what we cover here today, we have related programs linked down below in the video description that parents are calling life-changing. Do not wait on those. The parents moving fastest are the ones getting the biggest results. But first, let me paint you a picture. Imagine it is evening. The house is loud. Your child throws themselves on the floor over something that seems completely ridiculous to you. Your patience is already stretched paper thin. You say something sharp, they cry harder. You feel guilty, they go to bed upset. You lie awake replaying the whole thing, wondering what kind of parent you are becoming. That cycle, that specific cycle, that is what we are breaking today. The first thing you need to understand is that connection is not something you schedule. It lives inside the gaps. The 30 seconds you spend actually getting down to your child's level when they are showing you something. The tone of your voice when they interrupt you for the 5th time. The difference between half, listening while staring at your phone, and giving 2 full minutes of absolute, undivided presence. Studies in attachment science show that children do not measure love in hours. They measure it in moments of felt safety. 2 genuine minutes can outweigh 2 distracted hours. And here is where it gets dramatic. Because this is the part most parents never hear. When a child does not feel that felt safety consistently, their nervous system starts operating from a place of threat. They become clingy, explosive, shut down, or defiant, not because they are bad kids, but because their brain is literally scanning the environment for danger. And the longer that pattern continues without intervention, the harder it becomes to rewire. We are talking about patterns that can follow a child into their relationships, their career, their own parenting decades from now. That is the real cost of disconnection. Not the tantrums. Not the eye rolls, the internal architecture of how your child learns to relate to the world. Now here is the turn. Because the exact same neurological principle that creates those patterns of disconnection can be used in reverse. Consistency, presence, and simple emotional attunement can literally rewire the brain. And it does not take years. Research suggests that even short periods of intentional, responsive parenting can produce measurable shifts in a child's stress response system in weeks. Weeks, not decades. So what does that actually look like in real life? Let me break it down simply. The first strategy is what researchers call the repair ritual. Every single family has conflict. The ones with the strongest bonds are not the ones who never fight. They are the ones who repair quickly. A genuine, simple acknowledgement of what happened without defensiveness or lecture creates more emotional safety than 100 perfect days. When you say to your child, "That did not go well and I am sorry for my part in it," you are not losing authority. You are building something far more powerful. You are building trust that you are someone they can come to when things break down. Parents who have applied this single principle report dramatic drops in repeat conflicts within the first 2 weeks. That is not theory. That is pattern interruption at the deepest level. The second strategy involves the power of predictable connection points. Your child's brain is constantly asking one subconscious question: can I count on you? And it is not asking that question in the big moments. It is asking it 100 times a day in tiny, fleeting interactions. When you create small, predictable rituals, a specific handshake, a question you always ask at a specific time, a moment that belongs only to the two of you, you are answering that question with a resounding yes every single day. And over time, that yes builds an internal foundation that protects your child against anxiety, social pressure, and emotional instability in ways that no single conversation ever could. The third strategy is the emotion translation technique. When your child is in the middle of a full emotional storm, your instinct might be to correct the behavior. Stop crying, calm down, that is not a big deal. And every time you say that, you accidentally teach your child that their inner world is wrong, inconvenient, or shameful. Instead, when you name what you observe, you look really frustrated right now. That felt really unfair to you. Something extraordinary happens. The emotional escalation actually drops. Neuroscience calls this effect labeling, and it has been shown to reduce amygdala activation, meaning it literally calms the storm from the inside. Parents who learn to use this describe a shift so dramatic they say it feels like they finally got a manual for their child. And here is where we take everything up another level, because you now have 3 strategies that can change the temperature of your home starting today. But here is the honest truth. Knowing this information and consistently applying it under real pressure, when you are exhausted, when you have had a terrible day at work, when the patience is completely gone, that is a completely different challenge. That is where most parents stall. They have the knowledge but not the structure to make it stick under pressure. That is exactly the gap that separates parents who see temporary improvement from parents who see permanent transformation. The parents who move from knowing to actually living this every day. They are the ones who do not try to do it alone. They invest in structured guidance that gives them the step-by-step framework, the accountability, and the real-world tools to apply all of this even on the hardest days. And the results those parents describe are not subtle. They talk about children who no longer have explosive mornings, families who actually look forward to being in the same room, parents who stop lying awake with guilt and start going to bed feeling genuinely connected to their child. That transformation is not a fantasy. It is a decision. And it starts with taking the next step before this moment passes. Because here is what I know about human behavior. Every minute you wait, the pull of your daily routine makes it easier to put this off, and putting it off is exactly what keeps families stuck in the same painful cycles for years. The related programs linked in the description below this video are designed to take everything you just learned and give it the depth, structure, and real-life application that makes it stick permanently. Most people will watch this video and do nothing. Do not be most people. Your family is too important for that. Go check those programs out right now.